And so it's a study I've really realized some years ago with grocery retail store Leclerc, which is one of the major French retailers. So the idea was behind this research project that we tested how recovery management impacts purchase behavior. We wanted to see what happens if customers are satisfied with the complaint management and how this impacts purchase behavior. So they gave us 200 cardholders, loyalty program members, and we got the purchase behaviors from these 200 customers 1 year before the service incident and 15 months after this incident. So in other words, we could measure the behavior before the incident and after the incident in order to see what happened in terms of purchase frequencies and purchase baskets, two of the behavioral variables of behavioral loyalty. And we had a questionnaire. We measured also word of mouth intentions, how this management impacted word of mouth intentions. So all these 200 members are members who experienced a service incident with the Leclerc supermarket, various incidents, dissatisfaction with products, dissatisfaction in the store, dissatisfaction with tangibles. We measured the satisfaction with a self-qual questionnaire, and we then splitted the customers in different groups, those who were satisfied and those who were dissatisfied, so on the scale between 1 to 7. So we made a split. The score from 1 to 4 was dissatisfied, and from 5 to 7 were satisfied customers. You can see here, actually, this is the purchase amount, and this is the purchase frequency. And you can see here different curves. First of all, before the service incident, they have a quite stable amount, around 60 euros per purchase act. And then after the incident, you have here the satisfied customers and here the dissatisfied customers. Again, satisfied, dissatisfied. To explain you what is the difference between both curves, the yellow and the blue one and the green and red one in some instance. But first of all, what we can see is actually the satisfied customers overall increase the purchase amounts and overall increase also the purchase frequency. So it's an indicator that these customers become, at least at the behavioral level, more loyal than the customers who were dissatisfied. And you can see then here, those customers who were dissatisfied, there's a dramatic decrease of purchase amounts and purchase frequencies after the service incident. First conclusion, it's coherent with our theoretical framework, the theory of justice. So a double deviation of satisfaction brings unloyalty or increased customer churn. Because actually, you have some customers where the frequency tends towards 0, or the basket tends towards 0.2. So, on the other hand, well-managed complaint management or service recovery management brings an increase of purchase loyalty, of purchase frequencies and purchase baskets. Second, we measured word of mouth. All customers do word of mouth. Almost 100% of the dissatisfied clients did negative word of mouth. In an average, they told to 10 persons. The satisfied clients told about the positive experience in around 5 persons. Today, this would be different because on social media, people would talk to hundreds or even thousands of persons. But what is important is that in any case, there's a negative impact on word of mouth for dissatisfied customers, and there's a positive impact on word of mouth for satisfied customers. So let's have a look on the distinction between the different curves and the different colors. The yellow curve here is a short-term customer. Short-term means that the customer is quite new in the first cycle of relationship. So it's a customer who is only 1 year customer of the store. The blue curve, it's a long-term relationship customer. A long-term customer or long-term relationship customer is a customer who is for more than 1 year a customer in the store. So he has already a longer relationship with the provider, giving him much more experience about how the provider works and how it works in case of dissatisfaction. So he has a longer experience than the short-term customer. So what you can see, actually the short-term customer reacts more extremism. So after the first or positive experience, he gratifies the brand or the store much more than the long-term customer. This is a question probably of surprise. I told you about the factor theory, that hygienic factors versus motivational factors. And here we have clearly a case that the motivational factor, the interaction with the brand, the relationship quality, is one of the factors that brings this wow effect. And that is why you can see that they have a higher basket and they have a higher purchase frequency than those who have already a longer experience. Let's have a look on the dissatisfied customers. So you can see again there's the red or the orange curve here is customer that is short-term customer, short relationship customer. So you can see that actually when a negative incident happens, this leads to defection. Right? So the customer is not tolerant to dissatisfaction and will immediately stop buying. What you can see here, it goes to 0. Whereas the longer relationship customer might pardon the store for the incident. Because he's less dramatic, you can see there's a decrease of purchase frequency and purchase basket, but less dramatic than for the short-term customers. So it shows us two things. So first of all, well-managed complaint management or service recovery management brings positive outcomes, as we have seen just before, behavioral loyalty and word of mouth. But there might be also tolerance and resistance, because you can see that actually even if they experience a negative impact, they might be more tolerant to dissatisfaction than new customers with a short-term relationship. We confirm that actually loyalty increases and word of mouth increases and tolerance also seem to increase. On the other hand, negative experiences lead to negative word of mouth and avoidance, that is unloyalty. We can see again that for newer customers with a shorter relationship duration, impact is much more dramatic, important, so to be a lower tolerance and resistance to dissatisfaction. It's in line with literature that new customers are less tolerant, because actually when you engage into a relationship and you see the first time the negative aspects, you have basically no reason to stay. If you expect high quality and you're immediately disappointed, then this leads clearly to double dissatisfaction or double deviation of satisfaction, leading to unloyalty, leading to negative outcomes such as word of mouth behavior. We have not tested destruction and boycott and law procedures, but actually it happened. Because we did a survey, actually there were some customers who hate the brand, told us they actually would like to destroy the brand, even destruction in the point of sale. There were others who said, okay, we would like to engage into law procedure. We have also seen in our qualitative focus groups that some customers might become so bad and might engage into destructive actions. What we also saw, actually the satisfied customers have a much higher repeat purchase probability than those who are dissatisfied. After 100 days, or 3 months, 75% of the satisfied customers have a repeat probability of almost 90%, whereas those who were dissatisfied have only half of this repeat purchase probability, which shows clearly, again, satisfied customers are more loyal and dissatisfied customers become unloyal. For all, relationship is the most important element or most important factor in the complaint management process, even before intensity of compensation. So remember here we talked about the different dimensions, distributive, procedure and interaction. So interactional compensation or justice is much more important, which again shows how important relationships are between customers. In other words, it's more important to have an empathic person in the after-sales service or complaint management service department than to give an important compensation. And we can see this is also valid for all types. We have short-term and long-term customers. Naturally, for the long-term customers, the relationship quality is even more important. The tendency of distributive justice is more important for the short-term customers, so the more value compensation. But still, the more value interactional justice, so the relationship. We tested the difference between a voucher versus money back. So the voucher means that you have the intention to continue the relationship. I give you a voucher for the damage you have, which means that you have to stay loyal with the brand. Or I give you the money back. The voucher is preferred by the short term, which is quite evident, customers, because they're dissatisfied and they want to never come back. The long-term customers prefer voucher because this means that they want to continue the relationship with the brand. We tested different communication channels. Phone versus email. Clearly customers prefer to be contacted by phone than to get an email. Which is an interesting fact. If you have a problem with the customer, it's better to call him back than to send him an anonymous email. Actually, you have also to consider the value of the customer. So you cannot call everybody, but if the customer is important, if you come back to the example of the Lufthansa customer, the Horn Circle customer, it would really make sense to call this customer back. Because all customers with good or low relationship quality prefer a call from the brand. A mail brings negative impact. So if you write an email only, without contacting directly the customer, it brings negative impact on loyalty. The voucher too. So if you offer a voucher, high relationship quality even they prefer, but low relationship quality they don't prefer. The low quality they prefer reimbursement. The high relationship quality prefer a voucher. We tested also the intensity. So in one scenario we offered 100% money back or 100% cash back for voucher of the damaged product, and in one scenario we offered only 66%, so only 2/3 of the money that was engaged. Actually, you can see naturally everybody prefers 100% reimbursement, which is evident. If the relationship quality is good, customers are more ready to accept to get not the whole amount back. It seems to be an indicator that relationship quality might compensate lower compensation intensity.
It is clear that this result come from our research, and our research is not free from limits. So I don't want to say now that you should compensate lower the customers than the price they paid. But it is an interesting result that shows that relationship quality overvalues compensation intensity.
But it shows how important relationship quality is. It even means that in some cases you can afford not to give the whole money back to the customer.